Welcome to yet another exciting edition of MEDIGO Round. And as always, we're going to provide the best of medical facts based on exciting and interesting research. This first interesting medical fact that I'm going to present in front of you is about obesity and overweight. It's alarming that 2.1 billion people, that's approximately 30% of the world's population, are either obese or overweight, and that's according to new, first-of-its-kind analysis on trend data from 188 countries. The rise in global obesity rate over the past 3 decades have been substantial and widespread, presenting a major public health epidemic in both developed and developing world. Moving on to the next interesting fact is in relation to the first interesting fact that I presented in front of you, and that's about being obese and overweight. And studies have proven that children of divorced parents are more likely to be obese and overweight. Obesity is a growing concern, particularly among children, and I'm sure most of us parents are very keen and particular about the health of your child. Over the past 30 years, studies have proven that the rate of obesity has more than doubled in children and quadrupled in adolescents. Now, a new study published in the BMJ Open suggests that children whose parents divorce are more prone to weight gain than those with secure parental marital status. Past research has indicated that a child's family life may influence their weight. A 2012 study also indicated that parental stress may influence a child's weight. So in short, all I gotta say is, when you have kids or you're planning to have kids, ensure that you reduce the level of stress that you impart on them. This will definitely impact obesity, overweight, and I'm sure all of us would want to have kids that are healthy and they look cute as ever. Next interesting fact is something very, very close to me personally, and I'm sure most of you would have the same problem. I would not say it's a problem. It's a natural thing that happens with most of us. Have you ever wondered why you reach for sugary foods when you're stressed? For example, you have a lot of tension and you have work-related pressure, or you're stressed out in the family. Some of us have a tendency to reach out for sugary foods, chocolates, pastries, donuts. Ever wondered why that happens? Let me explain why this is happening. Researchers from the Monroe Chemical Senses Center in Philadelphia may have discovered why this is. The investigators identified receptors for stress-activated hormones located in oral taste buds responsible for detecting sweet, savory, and bitter tastes. According to the researchers, stress can increase secretion of hormones called glucocorticoids, commonly known as GCs. These hormones activate GC receptors located in the body cells. I'm sure I've got the attention of people who are similar just like me, and as you can see, this is all the after effects of eating a lot of sweets and donuts when I'm tensed. So in short, the takeaway is when you're stressed out or you have tension, try not to grab on the sweets and try eating. All you gotta do is just breathe through your nose and let it out of your mouth. Breathe in, exhale. It helps you to relieve your stress. The next interesting fact that I'm going to present in front of you is about cancer. You heard it right. And the most interesting fact, or what studies have proved, is that family history is a bigger risk factor than lifestyle for some cancers. Let's go into some of the details and understand which of those cancers and how does it affect. A Swedish study of nearly 71,000 adopted people has used data from both their natural and adoptive parents to find out that family history is a greater risk than lifestyle in developing breast, prostate, and colorectal cancer. Now that you've seen how family history plays a vital or a major risk factor than lifestyle in developing some cancers, the best that our generation can do to future generations is to live a healthy life, try and avoid things that contract cancer, avoid smoking, eat healthy food, anything that we can do to create a better future and a better generation to come. Now that you've discussed about obesity, overweight, how stress affects a child's weight, let's move on to something more interesting. And again, this is something that I have tried to overcome. And now that I've seen this fact, I'm sure most of you would find it interesting. Now, whenever you approach a dietitian, or I would say you think for yourself and be a doctor yourself, the best thing that you do when you want to lose weight is you move on to fruits and vegetables. And what do you do when you're hungry? You eat more fruits and more vegetables. Definitely healthy, but it may not help you lose weight. According to the University of Alabama at Birmingham researchers, there is no evidence that increasing fruit and vegetable intake reduces body weight. Adding more fruits and vegetables to a diet without reducing total food intake had a near zero effect on weight loss. Though the importance of fruit and vegetables in a healthy diet should still not be underestimated. So as you heard, it's very simple. You still have to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, but the only thing is it may not help you in reducing your weight, but it definitely helps you live a better and healthy life. Our next interesting fact is about two major things that we need to be worried about in the present world. One is global warming, and the next thing is how nutritious is your food, and they're correlated. True, let me explain. Global warming makes food less nutritious. Millions and billions of people rely on wheat, rice, soya beans, and peas for the majority of their zinc and iron intake. Now, what happens because of global warming? As carbon dioxide increases, these minerals decrease. Already a major health concern in the developing world, zinc and iron deficiency can increase the risk of anemia, infections, and sometimes even cognitive problems. So the takeaway is very, very simple. Now that you know global warming is related with nutritious food, it's very, very, very simple. And that's from the bottom of my heart. The best thing that we can do as good humans for ourselves and the future generation is to save the planet, go green, and in that way, global warming is going to reduce and we'll have more and more nutritious food. And that's not just for you and me, it's for future generations to come. The next topic that we're going to discuss goes out to all those who work night shifts. I'm talking about graveyard shifts. Me as a person has done that for 13 years. And now I've changed my clock completely to adjust with the normal living life of the rest of people and my family and friends around. True, graveyard shifts really affect your health and the brain clock. It is already known that working graveyard shifts negatively impact your health, and the body of evidence grows. Now, researchers have found and shown it to us that forced nocturnalism can affect the brain's internal clock in a way that's similar to Alzheimer's disease. The circadian system in mammals orchestrates the daily rhythms of activity and sleep with day and night. Disrupting this cycle throws off psychological balance and can lead to increased risks of heart disease and diabetes in people. Now that you know, forced nocturnalism can increase heart disease and even other diseases as well, I would say if you have an opportunity to move or switch to another job that forces you to stay awake at night, I would suggest you to do that. But no offense and no harsh feelings to anybody that's running a business that allows your employees to work at night. Best example is me. I used to have these dark circles and I was completely lost when I used to do night shifts. And well, I'm happy the way I am. So I would say, try something different. Try switching your jobs. Get something that gives you the normal clock and life balance, where you sleep at night and you're awake in the day doing your work. That's the best way to stay healthy. Long gone are those days when men used to have an added advantage over women in the field of professionalism and family life. It's all long gone. We live in a century where men and women are of the same status, be it professional, be it personal, be it family life. It's equal importance, equal value. But the next interesting fact that I'm going to share gives women a slight advantage over men. In a new study, researchers found that women's immune system responded strongly than men's to a flu vaccine. Old and young women alike produced both more antibodies and a higher inflammatory cytokine count, one sign of potential immunological overreaction, than male participants. In this study, the scientists identified a handful of genes, apparently regulated by testosterone, that they think are a key part of the response mechanism. Now that all you beautiful women out there know that you have an added advantage when it comes to immune system over men. But the point to be noted here goes to both men and women. We do have an immune system. Do not abuse it. It's a natural way your body helps you to survive a lot of things. So stay fit, stay healthy. Well, the next interesting fact is about taller people. You heard it right. I'm sure most of you, when you're at work or when you're traveling the metro or you're riding the rails or you're out shopping and you see somebody who's 6'4", 6'5", walking past you, you have that habit of look up and say, God, how tall is he? Not just men, it goes with women as well. And I'm sure most of you beautiful women out there prefer men who are taller. That's the way it is. And most areas of life, it's considered that taller people are successful. They earn, on an average, more money, and some of them are more successful at work. True it is. But now let's look at the shorter counterpart. That's including me. I don't know how tall or short I look, but let me tell you, I'm not that tall. So coming to the good advantage of a shorter person, I'm talking about health-wise. Let's go into the details. Research is showing that short people might win out in one big way. They might be less prone to cancer and even have longer lives than tall people. Now that we've heard about tall and short people, let's not differentiate them, or let's not live the way we want just because we think shorter people are less prone to contract diseases. Then in a nutshell, the best thing to do is stay healthy and live happy, and you live a longer life. Our next interesting fact goes to all those who want to live a healthier and happy life. You heard it right, I'm talking about green tea intake. Researchers have proved that intake of green tea really boosts your brain memory. Let's go into the details and find out. Green tea appears to boost memory by enhancing functional brain connectivity. A new imaging study suggests. Research shows that drinking a green tea extract enhances memory performance, a finding that researchers suggest may have important clinical implications for the treatment of neuropsychiatric disorders, including cognitive impairment. Now that you know about how good green tea is, it's time to think. Switch over to green tea. You heard it right. Let's take me for example. I cannot kickstart my day without a tea, and in the evening around 4 or 5, if I don't get a tea, I get a headache. So what do? I have a green tea in the morning and I have a green tea in the evening. It serves two purposes. I've had a tea in the morning as well as in the evening. At the same time, green tea helps my memory to boost. Well, you can try that as well. And at the end, we took a peek into what's the good part of having green tea. So in short, that was an interesting episode. A lot of intake for all of you out there. And with this, we come to an exciting end. Until next time, bye-bye from Pachino.